The most common question I get asked is, how do I find a good, reliable, trustworthy builder? It's a real challenge, and honestly, most of us just go on cost. This video will take you through the 10 things to think about ahead of speaking to a builder, and it will set you up for success. I'm Judith Leary-Joyce. I've learned masses by renovating and retrofitting our Victorian home. I've written the Beginner's Guide to Eco Renovation, supported by an architect, so I could share all my learning with you in plain English, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up so I know what sort of things you want me to talk about. So let's get going. Point number 1, you're going to be in a relationship with this builder. So think about what would make that easier for you or what might drive you mad. For example, do you like people who are really chatty? Do you enjoy that? Or is it like fingers down a chalkboard? Do you like people who are really punctual, or are you not bothered as long as the work gets done when they've said it will be done? If you can make a list of those things, you can bear that in mind in your very first contact. Point number 2, how good are you at reading plans? Depending on the extent of your build, you'll have architect's plans, structural plans. There will be some form of roadmap of how this build has to go, and the more familiar you are with those plans and the more capable you are of reading them and discussing them with the builder, the greater chance you have of getting the outcome that you want. So point number 3, think about how involved you want to be. Do you want to be informed every step of the way? Do you want to get in and get your hands dirty and actually help? Or do you want to be at a distance and have the builder just inform you once a week, once every couple of weeks, once a month even, what's happening? Point number 4, do you want to stay in the house or do you want to move out? There's pros and cons either way. If you live in, then you can keep a close eye on what's happening. You can make sure that they're looking after the house well, so you can organise the dust sheets, keep putting them back into place when they slip down on the stairs, whatever. You can look after your house. The downside is that the builders finish their actual work a little bit earlier each day, because then they tidy up for you to be there overnight. Or do you want to move out completely? It makes it much easier for the builders. They can just get on with the job, and sometimes they can really load the house with trades. They can get everybody in at one go working on it. The downside is it costs you money to rent unless you've got family members you can go and live with. And that's money that could go into the build. Number 5, what reassurances do you need about the builder? Do you need to know about their certification and their qualifications? Do you want to know about their insurance? I think that is always worth checking on. Do you want to talk to some of their customers that they've worked with and completed projects with? Or maybe is it enough to go onto the local Facebook page? There'll always be a local renovations page on Facebook, and see what they say about the builders. But just get clear in your mind what you need in order to feel confident. Number 6, decide how you want to manage any additional work. There will always be something that wasn't thought of ahead of time, especially if you live in an old house. So are you happy for the builder to carry on with the work and then talk to you about it afterwards? Do you want a full breakdown of why the work's got to be done, how much it's going to cost and how much it will add to the timeline? Or do you want to choose a builder that will do a whole package for you? There are companies out there that will do from design to delivery, and then they work everything out in advance. Just to say that if you do look for someone who is going to do a whole package, prepare yourself that the cost they come in with will be higher than other builders. Some builders will price for just the basics, which means it sounds good and they might be more likely to get the work. But then when other things come in, it's going to grow and grow and grow. Other builders will think very carefully about what are all the additionals, and they'll put the whole thing in, but of course it's going to look more expensive. So be clear what you want ahead of time and how you want to manage it. Point number 7, how do you want to manage payment? It's much more immediate in my experience with builders. It's not like paying the gas bill where you can leave it a bit. They're often relying on the money you pay them to go and buy more materials. So be prepared. There's different options. Are you okay to pay cash, for example? Some builders will work with cash, but when they do, they probably want it pretty much immediately because maybe they've got to pay labourers or they've got to order a skip. So they need the money from you. So make sure you've got cash somewhere in the house for that payment. Other builders will want staged payments through the whole process. So you need to understand when they're coming because that'll be much larger amounts. So make sure that it's ready for payment. Others will want a payment at the end of each week, for example. But again, make sure you know how you're going to pay that and be ready. Money is always the one that will trip us all up. So remember, this is a relationship. And if you don't have the money when they need it, it can really be quite difficult and create bad feelings. So be ready. Point number 8, what's your timeline and how significant is it? As I said earlier, in every build, there will always be unexpected additions. You never know what it's going to be like when you take the plaster off the walls or when you open up the drains. You can't know that, especially if you're in an old house. So think through the implications for your timeline. Do you have a drop-dead date that absolutely must be fixed? And if you do, then do you want to add in a penalty clause for overrun? Are you okay with the timeline, but you need to be informed really well in advance if it's going to run over? What are going to be the implications for you, either if you're living in the chaos or if you're renting? Can you extend the rental, or will they have to accept that you're moving back in? Number 9, think about your resolution style. I know that sounds a bit defeatist, but let's be honest. This is a relationship, it's your home, it's their workplace. There's going to be difficulty at some point, so think about your best way to manage it. Are you somebody that avoids conflict at all costs? In which case you need somebody who can help you talk it through and work out how to do it and to help you stiffen your backbone. If you're somebody that gets angry and you're likely to wind it up and make it even worse, find somebody that can talk you down and again help you work out the best way to approach the builder. If there's 2 of you involved, who's best at doing this, and make sure that they're the ones that deal with the builder. And then very important, and it sounds obvious, but it's easy to miss when you're in the midst of all of this, keep very clear records of everything that has been agreed and all of the costs, especially if you're paying costs as you go along. And finally, point number 10, do you want your home, when all this is finished, to be energy efficient? And honestly, why wouldn't you? But if you want that, you have to decide before you even start, because this isn't natural to builders. I know, it should be. It's amazing, but it isn't. So you need to inform yourself on this one. That's why I wrote the Beginner's Guide to Eco Renovation, to help you. I wrote down everything I learned in plain English. I was backed up by an architect, so it's accurate. So read that. That will give you all you need to know, or go searching on the web, however you want to do it. But builders will not automatically do this unless you have an eco builder. But even then, you may find that they're not using sustainable materials. So those are the 10 things to think about before you even start looking for a builder. Make sure you're really well prepared and the process will be much smoother. If you want to know what to do next in terms of finding the builder, then click subscribe. It's all on its way. And click the link below to get a copy of my book, which will take you through everything that I learned our successes and our mistakes so you don't have to reinvent the wheel.